It's only going to take one time for someone to realize how they can be able to talk to you, how they are going to treat you. Uh, it could just be a simple conversation. It could be a situation where you as an individual just going through something and you already know that the healthiest way for you to get over this stress, right, is for you to talk to someone. Is for you to just vent. But in these times, especially right now, most people in today's world are just trying to and working on looking for the next victim. Victim to disrespect, victim to use and abuse, victim to just take, especially resources. We want to be a little bit more specific. Finances, material things, if that makes sense. But it comes a point in time where you're gonna have to learn there are boundaries that you have to set for those people to not come around you and try to take advantage of you. And one of the things is respect. Because when you set respect and you set boundaries, trust me, a lot of people, they'll have an option to either abide by your boundaries, respect you, or they'll just leave you alone, if that makes sense. But before I get into the video, let me introduce myself. This is Gene, your best friend, your new best friend, and I invite you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. And today we're going to talk about respect. We have to talk about setting respect, because it takes only one time for someone to realize who you are as an individual, for them to understand that, or to know that, okay, you know what, I can do this to this person. And because we live in a world, I had to cut this off. We live in a world now. A lot of people are traumatized. A lot of people are they love toxicity, if that makes sense. And it's crazy because it's like, I won't even say I don't blame them, because it's like you pick and choose. You pick and choose the type of information, the things you see in your life. Don't get me wrong. A little toxic, when you watch stuff, a little confrontation, it's exciting, right? It makes sense, don't get me wrong. I used to watch this show on YouTube. Shouts out to him, Bounty Hunter D. And that was a dope show, though, by the way. If you ever come across this channel, I'm not talking bad about this channel or nothing. But Bounty's Hunter, man, he was a G. He'll let you know, he'll give you the smoke. You know what I mean? And he was just not playing. Like, he'll repo your car. And it's a dope show. Shouts out to Bounty Hunter D. And it was really cool that he had his wife with him, and then he had Ivan, I think he was a police officer. It was so dope, like, you know what I mean, watching this show. But I got to the point where I was watching it every day. And I'm not saying that I let anything get to me, but it made me think, like, you know what I mean? It made me think a certain way of how things could be, right? If that makes sense. Nothing big influential, but I had to stop watching it. Time to time I'll slip up and watch it, though. Time to time, you know what I mean? Cause I'm a big fan of Bounty Hunter D, but I couldn't watch the show too much, because sometimes I'm watching it all the time, you know what I mean? It was really cool. I could be there all, but where I'm going is this. It was just it was confrontational. You know what I mean? It was confrontational, and it could be a little toxic. You know what I mean? You have people in there. So I had to really watch what I do. But long story short is this. One thing I do notice about the show, there was boundaries. Like, for example, if somebody talked to him a certain way, and they'll try to, like, touch him, or they're getting his face, he'll just let them know, like, look, no, yo, calm that down. Or, he'll give you the smoke. Which, I'm saying, like, you can't You can't dislike this. You can't dislike it. You know what I mean? You can't dislike it. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. There's just a lady over here. She's just come on. She have a dog, and for some reason she just come. People, I'm telling you. But where I'm going with this is this. It comes a point in your life where if you're a person that's just going through something, it could be a relationship, it could be that you have friends, family, and they are talking to you a certain type of way, right? Now, you could be joking around, you could say some stuff, right? And they'll say something like, you know, that's why, that's why you fell off the bike. So you have to question yourself. It's like, okay, if you fell off the bike, you would have got hurt or you sprung your leg. Why is it so funny? Why is that a joke? Why is that a joke? And then when you say what, you're like, nah, I'm just saying you fell off the bike, but it was a funny. They're trying to explain themselves, but at the same time, you know it wasn't funny. You know what I mean? And you question yourself, but you let it slide. You know why? Because those same people that are in your life, they're important to you. So you just like, okay, you know what? It's family. Oh, that's my boy. He didn't really mean that. You know what I mean? That's my girl. You know what I mean? But it's like, how was that funny? Now, for some people, they may take it like, okay, you know what I mean? You taking it too serious, this, that, and the third. But like I said, it only takes one time. You get into an argument, you get into a situation, a back and forth thing, and then here it goes, somebody wants to try to hurt you with words, and then they'll tell you, that's why you fell off the bike, you dumb, you can't even ride a bike. So you have to set boundaries and let them know, look, don't joke about that. Don't joke about that. What you mean? I'll just joke. Don't joke about that, because what if I gotten hurt? And then you're supposed to be my brother, you're supposed to be my sister, you're supposed to be my girlfriend, right? Vice versa, ladies. And then you laughing about that? So that tells me how you really feel about it. And then they'll tell you, okay, they'll calm you down, or my fault, my bad, yo, my bad. I didn't really mean it that way. That's how you set boundaries. Another way, you could be a person you have in your home. And I made a video about this before. You could just be chilling, and it's like 10 o'clock at night. You done call this person, an example. You done call this person, see how they doing. They haven't picked up the phone, right? They're going out. They out and about. But it's 10 o'clock at night. You got to be up early. You got to go, or you got to be up early. Here you go. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Knocking on the door. It's 10 o'clock at night. You got neighbors. Bum, bum, bum. Talking all loud. What you getting up to? You about to go to sleep? Wow. Man, you getting old. You see? This is a place where your house is, something sacred. That's your castle. It don't even matter if it's just like a little how can a closet. That's your castle. For somebody just to come up there, that's disrespectful. Even if they didn't really mean it, but that's why you have to set boundaries. Like, look, it's getting too late. You can't just come around here around this time, and I'm about to get ready to say, I done gave you a call already, and you just showing up when you want to. Oh, my bad. Okay, they feel some type of way. Hey, that tells you how they felt about you. Oh, how you gonna get mad at me? I didn't. You don't even know what I went through. You see, that right there, that tells you how much they respect you. That tells you right there when you setting boundaries, and there's a place, there's a time and place for everything. It could be somebody that's coming into your house. I hear this a lot. And you got this one person who just comes and eat all your food up. They come eat all your food up, and yo, you be like, yo, what's going on? I gotta eat. I got money to go buy my own food, but still, I'm on a budget right now. Yo, you taking all my water, you taking all my chicken salad. Come on now. And then they sitting here making a mess. Let them know, like, look, you can't do that. If you want something, I got you. Let me offer you, but don't come here and just eat all my food. Set boundaries, because if you don't set boundaries, they will not respect you. And that tells you, like, how much they respect you and how much they love you is when after you set boundaries and they go by those boundaries. That tells you so much how much they respect you and how they view you. There's a time and place. Like I said, there's a time and place for everything. A time and place for everything. Especially in these times. You may have had a problem with somebody. You're going back and forth with someone, and they are in your house, and they're disrespecting you. How so? You let it. They must have done it before or said something to you, and you let it happen. Because a lot of times, us as people, we catch ourselves like we feel like we need other people. Yeah, but you have to remember, when you set those boundaries, that's a sign too of self-care. Self-love, and it's very important to you, to us. I used to be a person before. I'm not going to be too long, but I'm going to give you an example. I was a person where it was just one friend. We would have conversations. I'm asking him a question. I was just in the stage of my life at the moment, and him too. You know what I mean? We both, this is when I was much more younger, and this person would come around and we'll have a conversation, and for some reason I'll ask a question, and then he just snap. Well, excuse me. I'm trying to get a better understanding of what happened. You want, and then 9 times out of 10, you contact me to vent to me. So there's people that you have to let them know, like, look, bro, your mouth, man, at times, man, you're gonna have to be a little aggressive. I'm sorry to say this. For those of you that's not too confrontational, you're gonna have to, let them know, like, look, you got to fix your mouth. Like, my mouth, what you mean? You know how they are, they're trying to act like you wasn't talking to them. What you mean? Look, you a little aggressive right now. You hit me up. Like, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to come at them like, look, you hit me up. I'm listening to you. I'm trying to get a better understanding. I'm trying to understand you. What you want me to do? Just sit there and listen, and you want to yell at me? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you cussing and everything. Hey, what you know what I mean? What I look like? A dog? An animal? And they didn't want to go back and forth with you. Cut them off like, yo, you need to go get yourself get a therapist. Hang up. Get away from me, y'all. I got things to do, man. I'm out. Because life is too short. Life is too short to be getting respected and overthinking. And you'd be like, dang, I wish I would have did this. I would have did that. Right then and there, you got to find the clues and just let them know. I'm going to give you another example. I'm on the road right now. So I just, I was on the phone yesterday. And I was on the phone with PayPal. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, though, but at the same time, I already know the situation. But one thing about these customer service representatives that are online, I understand why they put AI, man, because some of these people are not built to really be doing these jobs. So when I had a conversation with this person, I'm trying to get them to understand. I'm talking real calm. I'm saying, hey, look, I know the situation was going on. I just want to call in to confirm. The lady kept on repeating what she's saying, and then I asked her one time, and I asked her again, because I'm telling her my situation. She's trying to cut me off. I said, look, I don't know what you got going on. You're being a little aggressive. I'm not being aggressive. I'm just trying to tell you. No. I said, look, you're being recorded right now, because I heard her. They done said that you're being recorded, and I'm very calm with you. I could snap on you. And then she calmed down. Setting boundaries. And then she said, okay, Mr. G, have a nice day. Can I help you with anything? Now, what if I would have just let her continue, trying to, snap on me and trying to, I don't, I'm telling you one thing about me, I don't play that. I don't play that. Like, it got to the point, too, I even told him, like, look, whoa, I got a little aggressive, too. I ain't gonna lie. But, sometimes when you gotta be that way, and then it got quiet. I had to put a little bass in my voice, that makes sense. But yo, check this out. This is the end of the video, but before I go, I have to let you know. For you to have respect, always set boundaries, man, because most people, they're not gonna understand you until you really give them an idea of who you are and what you represent. And a lot of that has to do with self-love. All right. Again, please like, share, and subscribe to your best friend, your new best friend. And I invite you guys to please, description below, comment pin to the top. Keep up with the latest luxury styles and trends at gorgeous271.com. All right. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.